I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I am Francisco Cerundolo, and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Last year,
Novak Djokovic has left Australia after losing his appeal against his visa cancellation.
He knew the conditions since a lot of months ago.
I was just following the rules. I came in with all the valid papers.
The volley! It's so good! He's done it!
It's the miracle in Melbourne.
Novak Djokovic has been granted a visa allowing him to play in next year's Australian Open.
Fans who taunt Djokovic are on notice. Do so and you'll be kicked out by security.
Carlos Alcaraz is out of the Australian Open.
I look at my ranking, it's giving me a lot of confidence, but on the other hand I know that these are just the numbers. Anybody can win a Grand Slam right now.
Who is going to avoid Novak Djokovic? Daniel Medvedev's in the same court as Rafael Nadal.
It doesn't get much worse, I'm sorry.
Can Raducanu beat Coco Gauff in a second round bet?
Felix Auger-Aliassime will win the Australian Open. Iga Swiatek will win.
Aryna Sabalenka and Taylor Fritz. Yes, you heard it here first.
Novak Djokovic, clear winner for me. So my projected semi-finals for the women's, Zheng against Pegula and Garcia against Samsonova.
I see Novak Djokovic holding his 10th Australian Open trophy this year. I see Maria Sakkari winning her first Grand Slam title at the Australian Open.
The Nicholas Kyrgios steam train is powering his way through to an Australian Open title win, and he's taken out Novak Djokovic on his way.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's Australian Open draw preview time, and it is the men's that we're going to be doing here this evening first. I can't wait to get going because you know who is back in town. Nole's back in town. That's right. You saw the intro. It's got me hyped. How are you doing, JG?
Oh, what an intro. I've got goosebumps all over. I cannot wait for this Australian Open. Get ready for Ben for little sleep, but loads of excitement. We've got all of the top players there. Nole's going for number 22 to tie up with Rafa at the top of the tree. There's so many other exciting stories with so many young guns. We've got the qualifiers who we both are really excited to see how they get on. There's so many stories. It's all going to be written in the next few weeks. And hopefully you guys can join us on this journey. That intro will be played for every single Australian Open match. And if it don't get you going, then I don't know what will.
Oh, definitely. And it's good to see some different faces on there as well. We've got the commentary team, a few of them giving their picks. That's going to be interesting to see how they fare. And I may even add some of ours in for the actual tournament when it kicks off. There's a little bit of space in there at the end. I think that we can squeeze us in there as well, mate. But I'm excited. This is the Australian Open. It's the big start to 2023. This could be Novak Djokovic's year. Last year was Rafael Nadal's year. Djokovic didn't play 2 of the Grand Slams. Well, guess what? He's back. And he is back to try and take number 10 in Australia and number 22 to level up with Rafael Nadal.
That is the big story, of course, on the men's, but it's not the only story. And I'm going to be very fascinated to see how the likes of a Taylor Fritz, a Felix, a Berrettini, all big servers, all players who are playing well, all who really fancy themselves coming into this Australian Open. Nick Kyrgios just played Novak Djokovic and looked quite good. Daniel Medvedev just played Novak Djokovic and beat him in a practice set. Rafael Nadal is not looking great coming into this. I'm wearing the Rafa hat. I've even got the Rafa 21 from when he won the Australian Open last year. I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can. And of course, we don't know who we're going to be picking. So all 87 of you right now, join us on this journey because we will be selecting our winner and dark horse of this Australian Open on the men's, and then we'll be doing the women's one on a separate stream straight after. We don't actually know who we're going to be ending up with.
No.
I feel like you do, though, but I don't.
It's hard to say because when we go through these tournaments, I don't know the route, the path, and I haven't really planned it all out. I love just doing it live, and I even surprise myself. Who knows? Maybe Escobedo is going to win the whole thing. We'll never know. Right.
Well, let's get straight into it. And in usual fashion, we'll be going through the previous winners. If you want to get your bracket ready as well, make sure to join the Game to Love League on the tennis app, TNNS. Ben will pop the link in the live chat now. It's free to enter, and you can have a lot of bragging rights if you can beat me and Ben or beat other people in the GTL community. So download the app, and you can win a prize, of course, as well. Game to Love will be offering a prize for the highest ranked bracket. So all the best of luck. And if you want to join the Patreon, it's the best time is to do it now because you still will be entered into the player roulette, which gives you a chance to win a prize and get a player to cheer on for this Australian Open. So let's start off with...
Well,
sorry, Ben.
I was going to say, just while you're on player roulette, you have the duration pretty much of this episode as well. We are going to be doing a live draw for player roulette at the end of this draw preview. Women's draw preview will be coming up next. But if you want to be involved in player roulette, sign up to the Patreon during this podcast, and I can even add you on. And while we're doing before we do the draw, which will be at the end of this, and obviously this is quite a long one. It's a Grand Slam, so you got plenty of time.
Yeah, I know MJ is quite keen to maybe join the Patreon. It's not too late. If you want to join, we will add your name to the roulette, which we will be spinning on this episode. So towards the end of the video, we've prepared a cool graphic where it all spins on the stream, and you'll be getting a player to be cheering on this Australian Open. So if you want to do that, the link is in the description, and we'd love to have you on board. But let's go through the previous champions. And the fascinating thing about the Australian Open, I always say it, is we see a lot of the regular faces. It's not like the US Open, especially the men's one. You could say the same about Wimbledon as well. It's always the same faces there. It's Djokovic, it's Nadal, it's Federer. One of them will not be playing it, though, because there is no Roger Federer. He has retired, but there is Djokovic and Nadal. We've also got a pick in there, I believe, for Stan Wawrinka. Yeah, that's right. 2014, defeating Rafael Nadal in the final. But Djokovic is the man to beat here. He absolutely loves it. He's been so dominant post-2010, really. There's not been many players who can get close to him. Last year, he didn't enter, so you can't really say he lost it because he was never there. And he is the massive favourite coming into this draw. And listen, I really believe that you've got your mind set already before you've even done the draw. Like, I know what you like, Ben. You want to put Djokovic to win it, and I feel like nothing's going to change your mind. So maybe for you, you kind of know which way you're going. I don't know what I might pick Djokovic myself. I really might, but I don't know that for a certainty. You do.
It's more interesting for me to watch your. I feel like I'd want to have your one on the screen. We're going to be having mine as always. I'll be sharing it, but I'm interested to see who you're going to pick. Obviously, last year, JG got it right. He picked Rafael Nadal to win the Australian Open, and it did happen. I had Daniil Medvedev. We had the finalists, but it was sort of expected finalists. Daniil Medvedev, as you can see, two-time defeated finalist, unfortunately for him. And the last one must have hurt so much more than the first one. He was up 2-0, and then possibly the greatest thing we've seen on a tennis court in recent years happened. Rafael Nadal won his 21st Grand Slam. That was history, the first person to do so.
I don't think it can get any better than last year, but I'm all here for it. I really hope it does. But yet last year was just a complete movie. Looking at the intro again, watching the emotion, we was brought both to tears when Rafael Nadal won it. It was on crutches a few months before, and he went on and won the whole thing. But enough of last year, enough of the previous champions. Let's talk about the present, and let's talk about right now, because we have a fascinating draw to get straight into. We've spoke about the qualifiers, so we're not going to speak about them. Go check out our video to see the 3 qualifiers. Me and Ben will be, of course, backing heavily in this draw preview because we've been saying big things about. And also shout out to Gary because I've just seen you've joined the Patreon. So I really appreciate that, Gary. Great to see you on board and good luck on the wheel when we go to spin it at the end of the video. So let's get stuck in, Ben, and let's get the draw up.
Okay, go on. Here we go. Well, this is a mini section at the top. I know we're going to have to do this in lots of mini sections. So many people in the draw, and we're going to be here all night and if we don't get going. So the big one to start us off, I'm sure you'd like to do this in reverse, wouldn't you? Rather than start with Rafael Nadal. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So we're going to start with Rafael Nadal versus Jack Draper. I know that you were saying, oh, you're probably going to pick Jack Draper to beat Nadal. He just lost to Kwon Soon or Subu Kwon in the last match. So that sort of dampened a little bit of my Draper hype, I have to say, coming into this one. I still think it's going to be a close match, though. I think it could even be 5 sets, but I don't think that Draper will beat Rafael Nadal. That's my personal opinion. I feel that it's too much too soon for him.
Gosh, I hope it's not 5 sets. I really don't. But this is, like you said, I think you summed it up nicely. I did not want to be starting with a Rafael Nadal first seed and be making a big decision early on because Jack Draper is no mug. He's a serious player. He's got the ability. I know, of course, he lost to Kwon Soon, but I think he's a great player too. But I'm not putting Rafael Nadal out first round. No matter what, I am backing Rafa. It's going to be a tough one. I think the second round's easier. But in this situation, I will be going for Rafael Nadal as well.
No surprises there. Right. For me, I didn't think you'd ever put Rafa.
I think the live chat kind of also agree. We've got Jody and saying Draper isn't beating Nadal. Kathy saying Draper was having heat issues with the third set. So that's something to take into consideration. It wasn't too long ago at Indian Wells. Or it was either Indian Wells or Miami. I think it was US Open. I think it was a Masters event in America where he suffered a heat stroke. So he's already got a history with struggling in the hot conditions.
I can relate.
And we're not going to spend this long either, by the way, guys and everyone. But this is a big match. Rafael Nadal Draper to start things off is probably the biggest first round match.
I'm going Nakashima to beat McDonald.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to be going for the qualifier here to knock out Munar, which is Dalibor Sochina.
I'm not. I'm going to be having Munar.
Okay.
And I know you was mocking me about this off air, saying I've got a bit of a crush on Munar because I always pick him. But I think he's a little bit more established at this level.
Maybe. Mikael Ymer versus Nishioka. I'll be going Nishioka here.
Yeah, me too.
Karen Khachanov versus Zapata Morales. I'm going Khachanov.
Yeah, me too. I know Morales, he can turn up in slams. He's been a qualifier in recent events and done quite well when he's got in, taking some sets off some big players. I think he did very well against Zverev when he played in a slam last year too. And he's higher ranked now, so he's got straight into the draw. And that could be a potential upset. I know we've skipped past him, but he could beat Khachanov. He's got the ability to.
Definitely does. Next one, I think we're both going for Kubler to beat Baez.
Definitely.
Next up, one of my qualifiers to watch. Here we go. The 17-year-old Juncheng Shang. I'm going to have him beating Oscar Otte.
Yeah, me too. I do like Shang, young player from China. One to watch, certainly.
Definitely. This one...
I'm a bit jealous, actually, that you've got him in your qualifiers to watch because I don't like to ever support any of your qualifiers to watch, but he's someone I can't go against too much.
Yeah, he's a good young talent. And we are the future of tennis. You got to remember that. So that's why it would be wise to pick. TFO, I'm going to have against Altmaier. I think that one sort of
picks itself. I'll have Hurkacz to beat Martinez. Hurkacz just played Rafael Nadal in a practice set in Australia and beat him. Sonego Borges. This may surprise you. I'm going Nuno Borges to win that one.
That does surprise me. I'm going to go Sonego on that one. I think he's got more Grand Slam
Borges
experience.
is a serious player. He is one for the future. Really good. Really good. Played a lot of matches already and has shown that he can do it. And it's the Challenger circuit. It's a tough circuit to be good in.
There we go. The big man, recently become Mexican. It is Ernesto Escobedo My third qualifier to watch, last on the list. I'm going to have him beating Tara Daniel, and this is JG.
Well, there's 16 qualifiers to choose from. I would say he is in the bottom 2. Not a good player. He is good, but not at the Grand Slam level. Ben picked him as a qualifier to watch. I think that highlights how Ben's tennis knowledge is very subpar. And I think your knowledge in tennis is disgusting when it comes to picking Escobedo. He's nowhere near the level. One of the worst qualifiers, and I think he's going to get demolished by Tara Daniel. Clip that all you want.
I remember your clip for Tara Daniel last time. He's going to destroy Barrère easy. He won't even win a set. Barrère won in 5. I think that was what happened. Anyway, move down.
Yeah, we've got Lewis saying this is giving Skatov vibes. This is the equivalent of Skatov. So this
Skatov was
tournament we've got Escobedo.
#1.
We had Skatov last year. This year we've got Escobedo. So watch out for him. And we can all laugh at Ben when Escobedo goes home.
Starting up my own dream team. Skatov.
Mexico this time, not America.
Escobedo. Right. Shapo Lajovic. I'll go Shapo.
Me too.
Korda to beat Garin.
You've skimmed past that quickly. This is a weird match where Garin could win.
No,
it's a weird match. Garin could win, but I'm still going to be going Korda. So
I don't think so.
I'm just putting that out there.
He was losing in the challengers last week, Garin, so I'm not giving him any props right now. Come on. Right. JG qualifier here. Yusuke Watanuki versus Arthur Rinderknecht.
Come on, Watanuki. One of my qualifiers to watch. I'm going to be backing him against Rinderknecht. He's won 16 of his last 17 matches. On form.
I'm going to go Rinderknecht.
Never been in a Grand Slam, though, Watanuki.
Yeah, he might feel the pressure. Rinderknecht loves a 5-set. I think this goes 5 sets.
You're always going to knock out all of my qualifiers.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're knocking my qualifier, Escobedo. Right. John the Millman, Mailman, against Mark Andrea Husler. I'm getting the pronunciation right for Patrick, who is in our comment section. I'm going to go Husler here.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you on that. It's a big server, and I think, as Kathy is saying, they're saying the courts are fast. This Australian Open, the courts are faster than usual. So let's wait and see what happens with that.
Garin loves the clay courts, as we know, those slow grinding rallies. Medvedev here against Marcos Giron. I think Medvedev will cruise that one. Tsitsipas versus Content Alice. I think Tsitsipas will do him quite easily as well.
No, not straight sets. It won't be straight sets.
No, here we go.
Content Alice will take a set against Stefano Tsitsipas, but Tsitsipas will come through. It's just so typical.
Not mad at that.
This is like Kola last year. Kola when he played Tsitsipas at Roland Garros last year.
Okay. I'm not mad at that decision. So Hijikata, I'm going to have to beat Hanfmann. He's in Australia. So.
I'm going to have Hanfmann winning this one.
Okay. Talon Griekspoor, I'm going to have to beat Kotov here.
Wow, this is a good matchup because Kotov was a lucky loser and Griekspoor is an unlucky winner, it seems, because Kotov is a good player and you do not want to be playing him in the first round. That is a 50-50 matchup, and I'm going to just have Griekspoor edging it, but it's going to be tight. Might go 5 sets. I think it's a 5-setter.
Just on form. I think didn't he win a tournament recently? So I think fair play. He's going to have a bit of confidence, and he's going to set up an all-Dutch affair in the next round. We got Boetik van der Zandschulp to beat Ilya Vashka for me.
Yeah, me too.
Musetti against Lloyd Harris.
Well, there's people in the live chat saying, where is Lloyd Harris? Here he is. Ghost of Serelatis is saying, or Geralitis. He's a tennis player, isn't it?
What, Vitas Geralitis?
Oh, Geralitis. Sorry, I can never say. I know he's an old tennis player.
He's got a picture as well.
I know. Lloyd Harris had an injury. He's slowly coming back. So that's where he's been. I think he's going to be going back home, though, because Musetti's going to beat him.
Yeah, I'll go Musetti as well. Federico Collier versus Marton Fucsovics. I'll go Fucsovics.
Yes, okay, I'll go for that as well.
Oh, Gregoire Barrère versus Thomas Martin Echeverry. This one, anyone's guess for me.
Yeah, it's not a great first round match in these conditions, but I'm going to go Echeverry.
I'll go against you then. I'll go Barrère. I know I had a bit of luck with him last year, so I'll go with it again.
I'll have Sinner to beat Edmund, Norrie to beat Van Asch,
Yeah.
Lestien to beat Monteiro. Lestien playing quite well at the moment.
Actually withdrew from an event, I think, just so he could be ready, I think.
Yeah, and he's looking very good. Some of the shots were spectacular he played in his last match. I saw it on the highlight reel. I'm going to have Suru Kwon beating Eubanks. Toric to beat Lehechka.
Yeah, that one I think he will, but I think it might even go for... I think he'll get a set, Lehechka, though. Maybe 2, not sure.
I'll go Cerundolo to beat Guido Pella. I didn't know Guido Pella was still playing, so good to see him back.
Protected ranking, he's got in.
Yeah,
right.
but where's he been? Does anyone know about Pella? What's happening?
Must have been injured.
Yeah, sad. Yibing Wu Mutet. That is a really good match on paper, actually. I would love to cover it if we get the opportunity, depending on times. But I'm going to be going Yibing Wu to beat Mutet.
Definitely.
I think Mutet's going to smack a few rackets, probably get disqualified, maybe.
I like that for a call. If you can put a bet on that, then definitely try it. Molchan versus Stan Wawrinka.
No. Former champion Stan Wawrinka. Give him the actual introduction he deserves for the Australian Open.
3-time Grand Slam champion Stan Wawrinka. The only tournament he hasn't won is Wimbledon. And can you believe Molchan, huge underdog in this, 5.5 on the betting odds. Do you think that's a bit crazy that they're really disrespecting Molchan?
Yeah, for the betting odds, it's crazy. It should be closer. I'm going to be going Stan just for my heart alone and Almino in the live chat.
I think you got to go Stan. Come on. We want to see Stan go through.
Stan. Good memories, man. We've got an all-Canadian affair here. Felix versus Pospisil. I'll have Felix.
Yeah, I think we're both going with that.
And now one to pause on because we're getting just over halfway through the draw. And we've got a big decision to make because it's Andre Rublev versus Dominic Thiem, the wild card. What a first round match that is. I said you've got Nadal versus... Oh God, the name's gone now. Nadal playing? Nadal Draper, but Rublev Thiem, you could make a case for that being the biggest first round match.
I think it is the biggest first round match, if I'm perfectly honest. It seems like, based upon form of Rublev, it makes it seem a lot more competitive.
Definitely.
So,
but I also agree with James Steele saying poor Thiem, because if Thiem got someone else, he could have actually made a little charge.
Well, I'm going to maybe surprise you here. And I'm actually going to go for it. I'm going to go. You may already know that I don't have Andre Rublev in my top 10 for the end of this year. And I'm going to have to try and go along those lines, because if I want that to happen, which I'm not saying I want it to, I just think it will, Dominic Thiem will knock him out and make a little comeback here.
It's so tight, man. It is honestly so tight. But I agree. I want it to happen. I want Thiem to beat Rublev. I think Rublev... I don't like this. There's so much indecision. My heart says Thiem. My head says Rublev. I'm going to follow my heart on this pick. Maybe I'll finish. Okay, what I'll do next time it's a toss-up, I'm going to go with my head just to even it out.
Okay, like that.
So heart in the bag.
I don't want to see a heart in a bag ever. We've got Max Purcell, qualified with ease and really impressive. He's up against Emil Rusevori in the first round. I'm going with Max Purcell to knock out Rusevori here, based upon being Australian, being at home. I think he may have the crowd, may get a good court and have a lot of support there.
Not for me. I'm going for the Rus. I'm going to have Galan beating Shardy.
Ooh, yeah.
Comes to the end.
Yeah, Shardy, I mean, Federer's favourite player. Well,
I'll have Evans beating Bagnis. I'm going to go Nick Kyrgios to beat Safulin. Not a bad first round for Nick Kyrgios. I'll go Gasquet to beat Humbert. Not sure what's happened to Humbert.
I'm going to go Humbert on this one. Just go.
If we do, that sets up a really good match. Humbert, Kyrgios. Let's not forget that was a match, I believe, was it a first round or a second round of the Australian Open 2 years ago, which
Something
went to 5 sets, I think.
I believe you're
I remember
right.
covering it. We was on for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, epic
match.
An
really good one. Humbert has the ability to be really good on his day.
Is he at that level? Hopefully he comes back. So
I'm going to have Cressy to beat Vinolas. So Ramos Vinolas. I'll go Oh, this is a big match we didn't speak about. Krajinovic, Holger Rune.
Massive match.
It's not
Absolutely
an easy
huge.
one. Krajinovic is an unseeded player who is dangerous. He's a lot better. He is, for me, a really, really high seed. Like, give him a 32 or a 30.
He's
So
in and
him being
around there.
unseeded is scary.
He could definitely... That could be the one that no one's expecting to happen. I know what you're saying. That this could be the one that everyone's like, oh, Holger Rune goes cruises.
This is the one Djokovic is watching and saying, I want Krajinovic to win.
Well, yeah, he's probably giving him some tips as well. This is how you beat.
Will do. I wouldn't be surprised if Djokovic is there cheering Krajinovic on, but I know he's got a good relationship with Holger Rune, so probably not. But
don't
in
forget
his
you're
heart of
allowed to-
hearts, he wants Krajinovic through because Djokovic beats Krajinovic. Rune, we've seen it in Paris in the final. We don't. That's not a certainty. He might not necessarily win.
Well, you're
And shout out
allowed
as well
to,
to Vaughan, who's just joined the Patreon. Thank you for that.
Ooh, cheers. Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, you're allowed to have some coaching in your box as well. So maybe Djokovic will be in his box shouting out some tactics for Krajinovic to beat Holger Rune, because I'm sure he has a better chance against Krajinovic, that's for sure. I'm going to be going for Holger Rune, though, because I want it to happen. I want to see the new breed come through.
Yeah, Tusha saying overhyping Rune on outdoor hard is misguided. Let's wait and see. I think he's still a quality player and can do some damage. I'm going to have Busta to beat Kakin.
Okay. Busta to beat Kakin. Yeah, I thought you
So
liked
Busta
Kakin.
got to, was it the semi-finals a few years back? And then he lost to Zverev. Do you remember? Then Zverev went to the final and played team.
That was in the US.
Wrong tournament. That's the US Open. Yeah. No, it's all good. Listen, I'm just thinking
Still
about
hardcore.
things. I'm thinking about things.
I'll give it.
Okay, I'll go another one. No, that didn't happen either. Busta, the disqualification with Djokovic, that was also the US Open. That was the same event, in fact. So Busta was very good. By the way, guys, Busta's very good at the US Open, but we're in Australia. I think he's still good enough to beat Cashin.
I love this, thinking on the spot.
Yeah, Jamie, this is the perks of going live, everyone. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the COVID US Open with the lady who goes.
You can bring up his record if you want. I'll stall for a bit if you want. If you want to have a look at Busta's Grand Slam record.
I just want to look at the Australian Open.
Yeah, have a look. Feel free. Next matchup we've got, while you're looking that one up, we've got this one. I nearly picked Mattia Bellucci, and he got through qualifying. He's up against Benjamin Bonzi. I think I'm going to go for Bellucci in this one. I don't know why, but I read some stuff about him that he is a super awkward player to play, and he gets everything back in the court. If he's one of those players and you're not on your game, I reckon he can cause an upset. And Bonzi's not top notch. He could have an off day as well. So I'm going to be putting this qualifier through.
I'm going to be going Bonzi on that one, playing it safe. And back to Busta, just quickly. He's got a 63% winning record at Australia. Okay. He's very consistent for a fourth round. He loves a fourth round. That's where he usually gets to. It's not too bad, actually. And the crazy stats, just looking at this, Roland Garros is also 63%. The US Open is his best one in 70%. And Wimbledon, 0%. He's never won a match at Wimbledon, Busta.
Really?
Never. And he's not had exactly a short career. He's been playing there since 2014.
I remember that for my bets when we come round to Wimbledon.
Never ever won a match at Wimbledon. So
I'll put a double on Tsitsipas and Busta first round. Anyway, we got Isner Manarino. I know JG was showing me this incredible running forehand from Manarino the other day. It was a pretty picture. It reminded me of Rafa versus Medvedev in the final last year. Do I think he's got enough to beat Isner? Yes. Do I think he's going to beat Isner? No, sadly.
Boring. Going for the big serve. I'm going to go Manarino. I love his haircut because there is no hair, and he's great on a running forehand.
Definitely. And here we go.
And Manarino, just quickly as well, he's the one who had the great tie break against Rafael Nadal last year in the Australian Open.
16-14.
That's the one, 16-14. I do remember some things. And listen, he likes it here in Australia because he had that great match with Rafa. So that just backs it up.
Well, let's see. We know how you... We know how you go. So this is JG's qualifier to watch, in case anybody didn't realise. This is Yu Susu, and up against Alex de Minaur, the 22nd seed. He loves it in Australia. He's going to have the whole crowd on his side. I think I already said it when we were doing the qualifiers. I was going to have Alex de Minaur, but let's see how you're going to go.
Yeah, sadly for Sue, it's a really tough first round match, so I may have to go for Alex de Minaur as well. But what I can say is it's a win-win, because I'm going to go Alex de Minaur on the bracket, and I'll be cheering Sue with everything I have on the stream. So if Sue can win, it makes me look good in the qualifying podcast. If de Minaur wins now, it makes me look good on this one. So I've just hedging my bets.
This sounds like you don't have any confidence in your qualifiers to watch here, JG. You're losing a bit of credibility.
I'm just going to say this. Sue's a great player. He won 3 Grand Slam titles in the doubles in the juniors in 2017, maybe?
That sentence started to unravel as long as it went. He won 3 Grand Slam titles, then in the doubles, then in the juniors. It got worse as the sentence went on.
Yeah, so it was 3 doubles Grand Slam titles in juniors, but still
good.
Just bigging him up. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing a newspaper report. 3 big titles.
That's it. Then we got David in saying JG scamming the system.
Yeah, that is official scam.
I like it. Right. Here we go. Aslan Karatsev. He's back at the place where he got to the semi-finals just after he came on.
Didn't he
GTL.
beat Dimitrov on the run to the semi-final?
He did. Well remembered there. It was in the song as well.
And he beat Schwartzman.
I think Dimitrov was injured in that match, though, unfortunately for him.
Like he demolished Dimitrov.
Yeah, but he was
the Australian Open. But this was a different Karatsev.
He was injured as well then as the Dimitrov. He had he couldn't run. I'm going Karatsev though. I'm going for the vibes. We're back in Australia. I would love to see Karatsev have a mini run at least.
I am going to be going also for Karatsev.
Aslan Karatsev.
And I'm going to be going for my number 1 qualified to watch, Zizou Bergs to beat Laszlo Zher.
Yeah, I'll go for the same. My
Tough
number
one,
2.
Zher's been playing well. I'll have Kokan to beat Delian. That's a lot easier. Djokovic to beat Baena. Yep. Certainly. I'm not going to talk about that one so much because Djokovic easily beats Baena. I'll have Fritz to beat Bashashvili.
Yep.
I'm going to go Seng to beat Poprin.
Not for me. I know that you like Seng, and he's been doing all right.
A really good young player. One of the best. One of the best young players in the world. So let's not skim past him. I'll go Ben Shelton to beat Zhang. Kuzmanovic to beat Jarry.
Yep.
Sorry, Diego. Doesn't happen often, but I'm going for Krutik to beat you. Schwartzman's not in good form at all. He's not looking like he's enjoying his tennis. Krutik is enjoying his tennis.
Come on. You love Diego. I can't believe you've just thrown him under the bus like that. You don't see that he can just come back?
No, I don't think so. I think Schwartzman's going to suffer this Australian Open.
Liam would be very disappointed in you right now, I have to say. And I am as well, because I'm going to pick. He's number 23 seed. We're in 2023. 23 is my lucky number. Go on, Diego. I'll have you going through based upon the number 23.
Yeah, I agree with Kathy. Something's up with Diego for sure. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I'm going to go
in the legs, maybe.
AJ Wolf to beat Thompson, Goffin to beat Lacoli, Zverev to beat Varillas.
Yes.
Berrettini to beat Murray. But listen, I'm going to pause on this because you've been bigging up Andy Murray and you've been giving me a lot of slander on the draw reaction, saying I'm being rude to Andy Murray and you think he's got a good shot. So this is your opportunity. The floor's yours, Ben. Put Andy Murray through.
I don't know.
Put your money where your mouth is. Come on.
I don't know if he's got enough in the tank to beat Berrettini. Didn't Berrettini he sort of wiped the floor with him on grass court?
What's the song? An robotic Andy Murray.
That's what we have at this tournament, unfortunately. We'll have him, I don't know, doing the robot, maybe, doing the Peter Crouch. I can't see him beating Berrettini.
Oh, Ben, come on. You've been backing him so hard. We've got a lot of Murray fans in the live chat as well. We've got, where is it? Chris B going, let's go, Andy. Come on, you can't let him down.
Berrettini in 4. There he goes. I'll give him a set. Sorry, Murray. we're getting close to the end now. I'm not going to keep on dressing him up.
David's in going triple bagel Andy. He believes.
Well, he gets bageled 3 times, possibly. We'll never know. Right.
Yeah, and Gary's in, our new patron, by the way. Said Andy the Christmas robot. Go, Andy, go. And I feel we're going to see a little bit more of Gary as this episode progresses and we get some big Djokovic decisions. But we're not getting to them yet. We probably need to speed up because we're taking far too long. These ones are quite easy anyway. Kokkinakis beats Fonini.
Yep.
I'll go.
Vukic,
that is, I don't know.
I'm going Vukic. I've gone with all the Australians so far, so I'm going to keep on with what I've been doing.
Okay, I'm going to go Holt. I don't know why, but I'm just going to go for Holt.
Fritz.
Yeah, I'll go Agut to beat Sousa.
Yep.
I'll go Bublik to beat Fokina.
That's a tough one. That's one we haven't spoken about either. That one I think could go either way. Bublik's got better serve, but I'd say Fokina's got a better all-round game. I'm going to go with the serve.
Yeah. I'm going to have Struff beating Tommy Paul.
Nah, not for me.
No, I'm not. I'm going to go Tommy Paul. Change my mind. I'm going to go Brooksby to beat O'Connell and Casper Ruud to beat Mahat.
I'm not. I'm going to go Chris O'Connell. I'm going with the Australians. Aussie. Oi. Man, Chris O'Connell, come on. Friend of the pod. We can't not put him through. I've got to put him through at least.
Okay, well, I'm not. I'm going to be going for Brooksby. And the fascinating part about all of this, Ben, is now we are halfway through the predictions. So in a Grand Slam, all you have to do is all the first round ones, and you're halfway through.
Praise the Lord.
Goes to show how many players are in this one. So let's go to the round of 64. First decision, Rafael Nadal, Nakashima. I'm not going to think about this one so much. I think it's easier than the first round. I'm going to have Rafa beating Nakashima.
Same here. Rafa through.
I'm going to go Nishioka to beat Munar.
This one, I'm going to go Sachina. This guy, I think, he's got in my head, this Czech guy, and he might have a little run.
This is where we do some different picks, I think. I don't want to see boring Ben, so I'm glad we're not seeing him so far. We've got the Compliment King in. How are we doing? Good evening to you. Saying Rafael Nadal 3 times up his 2022 performance and performs the greatest Grand Slam win in the history of the sport, winning it all, right? Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. You're tempting me in. I knew people would be doing that, but I'm so happy we've got a few Rafa fans in the house tonight. Don't message me too much, please, because you're going to make me have him winning it. And
surely
it eclipses if it doesn't happen.
Last year, if he was to win it this year. If Djokovic is in the draw and he wins it, surely the best achievement ever.
Defending all them points. Just can't do it. Just stop. I don't want any Rafa fans getting in my head. Okay, I'm going to go for an upset now. I'm going to have Khachanov going out. I'm going to have Jason Kubler defeating him.
I think it goes 5, but I think Khachanov does him. I think he looked quite good against Rafa last year in the Australian Open.
Oh, Ben's qualified to watch. I'm sure he'll have him going through, but I'm going to be going Francis Tiafoe.
Oh, why does he have to play someone good already? I couldn't have just like I should have picked Sachina, or if that's how you say his name. I can't have you. Sorry, John Chen Shang. You're out.
It's weird that you didn't pick him, but you have him going quite far.
That's what I mean. Things are strange. I don't know. Well, let's see how far Escobedo goes. Let's keep going.
Hubi Hurkacz beating Borges.
Yeah.
I'll go Chapo to beat Tara Daniel.
Oh, Escobedo. This is the end of the line.
I'll go Korda to beat my qualifier to watch Watanuki, unfortunately.
Yeah, Korda for me as well.
I'll go Medvedev to beat Huesler.
Yeah, sorry, Huesler.
Tsitsipas to beat Hanfmann. I think I'm playing this very safe. This is all the big seeds aren't going to go through though. One of them are going to go out early, Ben, and you'll be doing a news video for it. So
maybe this one.
I'll go Butik van der Zandschulp to beat Griekspoor.
Yeah, sadly, that's not the one either.
I'll go Musetti to beat Fucsovic.
How good has Fucsovic been recently? That's the big question on this one. I'm going to have a little bit of research on some of these because otherwise I'm just going to be going, seed. Like, otherwise I'm just going to do that. I have to have a little look.
Just go off what you remember, but I can tell you some of the recent stuff he's been up to.
He won a challenger recently, but then he lost to Robin Haase. So no, sorry, Martin. Right, okay, goes back down
Beat
in the
Watanuki.
estimation. He beat Reedy as well in the final.
That's
Beat
pretty good.
Polmans, beat Arnaldi.
Yeah,
He's
no,
beaten
some good players in that challenger.
Beat
Could
Travaglia the
be
week
a good
before.
match, but I'm going to be going Bassetti. I'll have
Yeah.
Sinner beating Echeverry, Nori beating
Ooh,
Listien, and
at that
Chorich
match.
beating Kwon-soon.
Nori. Yeah, I'm going for Nori as well. And what was the other one? Yeah, I'm going to go for Chorich as well. Really? God.
Okay, this is where it gets a bit different. I'm going for the wild card Wu to beat Sedundalo.
I can't back. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it gets different. I think we're both Wu's. He's going to be surely high, like a seed at some point soon, I think.
And this match, I know David's going to want to be covering on the channel. I can just
Yes.
guarantee before it happens, David's going to be messaging, wanting to cover Felix Stan. I feel like we've got to give it to him probably because he's going to really want it. And he'll probably show a lot of passion on that one. I think Felix beats Stan.
I think probably most people think that, sadly. Stan, sort of in the Murray category.
I'm going to keep going with Dominic Thiem. He's beaten Rublev and now he's beaten Rusevori. Here goes Dominic Thiem. He's on a tear.
A good section if he gets past Andre Rublev.
Great
I
draw
agree.
for Thiem. If he can beat Rublev, his confidence is going to be sky high.
But think about Rublev as well. If he beats Thiem,
Dominic Thiem.
Rublev could be amazing for him. Maybe this is Rublev's slam. Moving down, Dan Evans to beat Galan.
Yep. I'll go Kyrgios to beat Gasquet.
Yeah.
Lune to beat Cressy.
Yeah.
Buster to beat Bonzi.
Buster to beat Bellucci.
De Minaur to beat Marino.
Isner to go out to De Minaur, yeah, as well.
Zizou Berg to beat Karatsev.
I'm going to go Karatsev just for the vibe.
He is my number one qualified to watch.
I need
I'll have
some
Djokovic beating Kakard. That'll be...
that would close 5 sets, maybe?
No, I think he'll be fine. Fritz beating Seng. Kuzmanovic beating Shelton.
Yeah, there's just too many seeds flying through in this.
All right, it's okay. Don't worry. They're going to be going out soon. I'll have JJ Wolf beating Krutek.
This is where I'm going to have Schwartzman going out. I'm going to have JJ Wolf beating Schwartzman.
I'm going to have Zverev beating Goffin.
Goffin. Didn't he have a good match against Rafa last year?
Listen, Goffin Zverev actually could be one I want to cover. I really want to cover that on the channel. It'll be a fun one. So remind me of that if it's 4 a.m. Zverev Goffin. Oh, no. But no, I do really want to watch it. Berrettini beats Kokkinakis. I'll have a Goot beating Holt. I'm going to go Bublik to beat Paul.
Agut just won that tournament, didn't he?
Yeah.
I believe. Bublik, Paul.
Did he win it in the end? I know he got far.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Beat Kokkinakis. I'm going to go Tommy Paul to knock out Bublik.
And Brooksby Rude. Rude could be on his way out.
O'Connell Rude.
I'm going to go for Rude. I am, but I think
Brooksby
pushes that. I think that's going to go 5 sets.
Casper Ruud, we're all it's going to happen again. Everyone's going to just underestimate him and he's going to get to the final or something silly like that again.
Okay. So now it's getting even more excited now.
Here we go.
Everyone just stay calm. Everyone stay calm. If you haven't already as well, hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to Game to Love. We want to get to 50k this Australian Open. And I think we can. This first one, listen, it's getting easier for Rafa. So it's getting hard. A little bit easier, a little bit easier. So I'm going to have him beating this yoke. I think that's an easier one than his previous 2.
I've got, the end of the line for Sachina or Sachina. I'm going to have him going out now.
I'll have TFO beating Kubler.
He ruins my brackets, Karen. I'm telling you.
I've got him out. I've got Karen going out early this year, so I do have.
He's in a semi-final of the last hardcourt slam. Remember,
he's going out, Ben.
I'm gonna have him going through. I've got to have something different to you. I've got to have something different to you. I can't have all the same.
Okay, I'm gonna have.
This is
Chapo beating Hurkacz.
This is a bit of David as well, this one. I know that he likes both of these as well. Are you going Chapo or Hurkacz?
It could be a Cavi one, actually.
Yeah, could be. See what time it's on. I think I might go Chapo.
So you've gone with the same as me.
Yeah, I prefer Chapo down under than I do. He did all right last year, didn't he?
Yeah, but Chapo he can go out early too. Korda Medvedev. This could be an early banana skin for Medvedev, but I'm having Medvedev win.
This is tough. Korda just nearly beat Djokovic.
Go on then, go for it. I want to see some big calls from you, Ben.
I know. Where are your big calls? You haven't done
I've
any.
got Hatanov going home. You don't. You got him winning
you got
it.
the higher seed going through. Yeah. What a massive call. No, you can't go against that because we need to see Medvedev versus Rafa, don't we, again?
All right. I'm going to have Tsitsipas beating Van der Zandslup. Come on, Ben.
It's just annoying.
When you go Wivens, yeah, as well.
I know, yeah, don't. Okay, I'm going to go Tsitsipas. Let's start speeding this up.
No, but just do what you think.
Sinner to beat Musetti.
No, Musetti's going to beat Yannick Sinner.
Is it because he's injured? They're both injured, actually.
This is Musetti's year. I've got him in my top 10.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Musetti in my top 10.
Sinner?
I think this is
I've got
Musetti's
Sinner,
year.
Yeah.
I think I've got Sinner as well.
Okay.
But this is Musetti's year. Nori Choric. I'm going to go Borna Choric.
This is
what I'm saying. This is where a lot of the big seeds are going out for me.
I'm going with Cam Norrie.
Sorry, David, but Norrie's out. I'm going to have Felix beating Wu. Go on, Ben. Your bracket is so boring. It's literally going to be
yours is
1, 2, 3,
exactly
4.
the same.
It's not. I've got more seeds going out than you.
No, you haven't. That's a lie. You just literally named all
I've
the
got
top.
Sinner out. I've got Hurkacz out.
Yeah, I've got the same.
Right, keep going.
Yeah, all right.
I've got Norrie out.
Wow, Norrie out. God, what a call. Right. We're going to put Evans out as well. This would be a big shot.
Evans out as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep going with Dominic Thiem.
That's what I mean. So we're going to be a bit boring. Here we go.
Okay,
finally.
Now this is just, I don't want to make this decision. This makes me anxious just thinking about it. Nick Kyrgios, Holger Rune. Pick at your own peril. This is a bracket decider because either of these can go to the quarterfinals comfortably.
For me, it only goes one way. In Australia, it goes Nick Kyrgios' way. I think anywhere else, it might go Holger Rune.
Okay.
Except Wimbledon.
I'll go Kyrgios as well, purely because of this. Yeah, Wimbledon, I'd also go Kyrgios, though.
De Minaur over Buster.
Yeah, I'll go De Minaur to beat Buster. I'll go Djokovic to beat Berg. Djokovic still not tested. Which I'm not sure is a good thing for him. We need to look at it the other way. Djokovic likes to play players who are a little bit better to warm himself up. He doesn't want to just have really easy matches and get to a quarterfinal cold, does he?
Yeah, Karatsev was a semi-finalist that he played in the semi-finals, remember?
I'm going to go Fritz to beat Kuzmanovic. I'll have Zverev beating Wolf, Berrettini beating Agut, and Ruud beating Bublik.
Sounds like all the seeds, to be honest. But yeah, I guess we're all going with these ones.
Oh, you're going for the same. You don't have to copy me. Go Paul.
Why? Stop trying to ruin my bracket all the time. He's less likely to win.
Yeah, we got the compliment king in saying right in the nick of time.
Hey, right. To the top. Back to the Rafa end. Right, here we go. Surely
there's only 16 players left. There's 16 players left. And Rafael Nadal's in it.
They played each other at last year's Australian Open. It went to 4 sets, remember?
They played at the US Open. Rafael Nadal, Francis Tiafoe, was the last person to beat him in a Grand Slam. I think Rafael Nadal gets revenge, and that's why I thought comfortably about this one. I think Rafael Nadal beats Francis Tiafoe and gets the revenge from the US Open. It's not going to be easy either. I think it might be 5 sets.
I feel my one's easier than your one. I feel that Khachanov just falls apart a little bit. He has a little burst of something good, but not enough.
Khachanov doesn't get that far, in my opinion.
Okay. Moving down. Medvedev Shapo. I don't know if we're going to see a
I'm going to have
rematch
Medvedev.
of Shapo versus Rafa again.
Tsitsipas Musetti.
Tsitsipas Sinner for me. And this is where a big seed is going to go out for me. I don't know why I'm going big on Yannick Sinner, but I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put Tsitsipas out here.
I'm going to be going Tsitsipas to beat Musetti.
All right, moving down. We got Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Cam Norrie. It's going to be big power.
Felix Chorich. I'm going to be going Felix.
Yeah, I feel that he's got the bigger serve than Norrie. Norrie may just struggle with that.
Okay.
Kyrgios team.
This one's not so hard. I think this is the end of the line for team.
What?
This is one of the easier ones to pick.
All right. I agree.
And this is also an easier one. I'm going to have Djokovic beating de Minaur.
What? No. Okay, yeah. I think everybody's probably got that. Fritz v Zverev. This one is a very tough one. Fritz Zverev. I mean, I'm going to probably go Sasha Zverev. I don't know how good Zverev is right now, but I still think that he will beat Taylor Fritz.
Well, Zverev said the other day he thinks Rafael Nadal will retire in 2023. He's going to win Roland Garros and then retire. That is Zverev's prediction.
He's going to play the Olympics next year.
Well, that's what he said. Does he beat Fritz? Oh, you've gone for it already. We've not seen him, by the way, since Roland Garros.
That's what I just said. I think, I don't know why, but I just got a feeling he's a more caliber at the Slam. And if he is back and firing, I'm excited. I'm so sad that we didn't get to see more of Zverev last year.
Fritz also did smash Zverev at the United Cup. So I'm going to be going for Taylor Fritz.
Yeah, Zverev may go out even earlier than this. We never know.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
Okay, so moving on down.
I have Berrettini to knock out Rude.
Yeah, me too. Berrettini beats Rude. And I've been saying to John Silk as well off stream, I think Berrettini could do a lot better this Australian Open. Wow. He only ever loses in Grand Slams to Rafael Nadal or Djokovic. And he doesn't have to play any of them for a while. So
last year he got to the semi-final as well. So he's pretty good. This was the final last year. Rafael Nadal, Daniil Medvedev, quarterfinal. Surely it can't happen again, can it? Is Rafael Nadal going to do it to him? Do him the dirty, just like he did after the tournament. He played him in the tournament just after and beat him up as well. Has Medvedev got PTSD right now when he faces Rafa on court, do you think?
Rafa has his number.
He does a bit. That's the problem.
Rafa has Medvedev's number. He really does, man.
But
I'm sorry, I can't do this one right now.
Oh, I'm going to go with Medvedev on this one.
I can't pick that one right now. I'm going to have to wait. I just can't. Okay, next one up, Tsitsipas Felix.
Well, for me,
the same.
It is Sinner versus Felix. And I'm going to be going for Felix.
I'm going to be going Tsitsipas.
So, I've got Felix versus Medvedev at the top. That'd be entertaining. We've seen it before, and it was close to being Felix with a win.
I just don't like this at all.
And we've got Kyrgios Djokovic. Oh, my word. Oh, my word.
This is just so bad, man. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do.
I played earlier
today. I think I'm going to have Rafael Nadal winning this Australian Open.
Oh. Well, while you dwell on Rafael Nadal versus Daniil Medvedev,
I mean, this is another one to dwell on. Can we just leave this one to the end as well?
If you want, we'll come back to that one then, and then we'll do that one last. Right, we'll go to the bottom, and the last one is Zverev versus Berrettini. And like you said, I'm going to be going for Berrettini here. I think that he was good last year. I think he'll come good again.
I've got Fritz Berrettini.
Are you a?
I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Berrettini as well.
13. Unlucky for some.
Just played at the United Cup and Fritz beat him.
Wow.
But I think Berrettini wins this one. I don't know what it is.
13. and it's Friday the 13th today. Is that saying anything? Does that mean Berrettini's going to go out first?
So now I need to pick between Rafael Nadal Medvedev and Kyrgios Djokovic, and I don't actually know. You can make a case for any of them.
Well, let me just complete my one. I think it was showed again today that when they play, it's quite close, Djokovic and Kyrgios, just because of the serve. But ultimately, when Djokovic works him out, I think it's not that competitive, and I think that's what will happen again. I think Kyrgios will win a set, and Djokovic will win in 4, and that's just how that matchup goes. Silence from JG here. Good podcast material. This for anybody watching.
I can't
subscribe.
I physically can't pick this, Ben. I really cannot pick it.
Well, if you leave it blank, then you get no points in the bracket, just so you know. So we go back to the top just so you can see what JG's dwelling on up here. This one.
You got Medvedev beating Rafa.
I told you that, right? You're not even watching what my draw, are you? Or listening at all. It's in his own world.
Help me out, people, man. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to go for... I think Djokovic is going to beat Kyrgios. I'm going to put it out there. I think Djokovic does beat Kyrgios.
Now just give us the other one. Come on. You know you're going to do it. Just do it.
I'm going to put Rafael Nadal to beat Medvedev. If it's that tight and I can't decide, then I'm going to go with Rafael Nadal.
Good.
Just for the heart. I'm just going to have to do it, man.
Stick with your gut.
Yeah, I'm going to have to back him. I'm just going to have to do it. I'm sorry. Sorry. Happy for some of you. Just, I had to do it. I'm not sure. I think Medi might beat him.
David's convinced. Rafa beats Medi every time, JG. Come on, look. They've got your back.
I'm scared.
Well, there you go. You've got Rafa now versus, who was your semi-final? Tsitsipas.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've got Medvedev Felix as my semi-final.
Okay.
This is interesting. Are we convinced on Felix? This is a problem for me. Felix, I think his draw is quite good, but is he was close to beating Medvedev as well, but is he Grand Slam latter stages ready? We know Medvedev's tested. He's lost a few finals. He's won one Grand Slam. I'm going to go Medvedev. I think it's going to be 5 sets again, though. I think it'll be a real close one.
Okay, Djokovic easily beats Berrettini. I don't think that's much of a battle. So now I know I've got that matchup. I'm going to be putting Djokovic in the final. Between Nadal, Tsitsipas, I don't think... I'm sorry. I don't think Nadal's going to beat him. I don't think Nadal's winning this. I just don't think he's going to win the Australian Open. And...
Clip that.
And I'm going to be putting Stefanos Tsitsipas to beat Rafael Nadal.
Ooh, Tsitsipas in his first hardcourt slam final. I like the sound of that. They call me Boring Ben for a reason. And yes, it is Djokovic Medvedev in another hardcourt slam final. The last time they played in Australian Open final, it was Djokovic that was the victor. When they played in the last slam hardcourt final in the US, it was Medvedev the victor. Looks like it's round 3 for me. And you've got Djokovic, Tsitsipas, and obviously they played in a slam final in Roland Garros.
Yeah, and if we are to get that matchup, it's only going to be one. It's going to be Novak Djokovic. I think he's going to tie it up and win. I didn't want to pick Djokovic, but I think Djokovic does win the Australian Open. He's the strongest player in this draw. The draw sort of aligns for him. It's just difficult not to go against him. I'm a big Rafa fan, but I just think Djokovic is going to win the Australian Open. And I don't like to say it on here, but that's just how it is. I'm just trying to do this using I've watched a lot of tennis the last few years, and the way it all pans out, I just feel like it just aligns more for Djokovic. It looks good for him. I think he's going to win it.
Okay, well, I'm sure you already knew who I was probably going to pick. I didn't know the route that they were going to take or who they were going to beat on the way, but I feel that it is just fitting that Novak Djokovic wins his 22nd Grand Slam after not being allowed to play in Australia last year. He comes back and wins and ties with Rafa. Unimo!
Yeah, I feel like I've let a lot of people down. Kathy and saying I'm a traitor. M saying no words. Jamie saying you predicted Nole wins no slams this year. Yeah, I mean,
call him out. Call him out. Call him out. Come on. That's right. People remember these words, JG.
We're all ashamed of you.
That's it, mate. What
The
have you
only thing
done?
I can do is just have Kyrgios beating Djokovic. That's the only thing what could potentially happen.
You can have Tsitsipas beating Djokovic?
No, he won't.
Oh, okay.
And it's like part of me thinks a lot of this could be done in the quarterfinals. I went Djokovic to beat Kyrgios, and part of me thinks maybe I should change that to Kyrgios. I'm just so torn. I think Djokovic does win this. I think he does win it, but I said so many things. Ben, you put me in such a terrible scenario. And I think, listen, I think we're going to see a GTL first here.
Well,
no, listen, we're going to see a GTL first. This has never, ever happened on Game to Love before.
Well, when we both pick the same and then they win.
No.
Yeah.
Rare. I'm changing it.
Oh, he's changing it.
It's a GTL first. I've lost my head. I don't know what's happening. I'm changing it. I'm having something inside of me. There's a message. Someone's told me something. I am changing it. And I'm going to have Nick Kyrgios beating Djokovic.
What?
And that changes everything. So I'm going to have Kyrgios in the final to play Stefano Tsitsipas with their rivalry, with what's going on. What? And I'm going to have Nick Kyrgios winning the whole thing. I've just changed it all. Nick Kyrgios is winning this year's Australian Open. You've heard it here first.
Wow.
It's a GTL first. I don't know what's going on. But someone's just entered my body. A voice has come inside of me and told me that this is going to happen.
Wow. I think we should applaud JG for sticking to his guns, if anything. He said Djokovic no slams in 2023. He's sticking to it. And Kyrgios wins his first ever Grand Slam title. Liam's got in your head, I think. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's too much drama, too much pressure, being in this seat, all of these big decisions I've just had to make. That semi-quarterfinal is ruthless. It can go either way. And in my heart of hearts, I really believe Kyrgios can beat him. I was reading the live chat, people saying he's unfit. I need to follow my heart. I need to follow this person who's speaking to me right now, and that is Nick Kyrgios beats him.
Well, I think Tushar saying JJ is so blinded by his need for not like to lose. It's sad.
Well, I'm very close with Djokovic, but it's not happened. So that is it. That sums it up. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I've made the decision now. I will not be going back. I'm going to be going Nick Kyrgios to win this year's Australian Open. In terms of dark horse, this needs to be a seeded player who is 20th or below. And on that basis, I've not had a look prior, but I will be telling you who my dark horse is any second now. I'm just going to have a little scroll through.
I've got one I can think of straight off the bat, just based upon recent form, and that would be Sebastian Korda.
Okay, not a bad one to have at all.
I'll throw that in.
In terms of my dark horse, I can't see anyone who I had going pretty far. Who's
you had all the seeds, that means. Weird. You
what's anyone. I think he's
17th. Need 20
what's
or
Taylor
above.
Fritz? No.
8.
What's Francis TFO?
16. Kyrgios is 19, so you're pretty close with your
my actual pick's crazy. It's going to have to be Dominic Thiem then.
I was going to say that.
Dominic Thiem I've got going the furthest as a player out there. So Dominic Thiem is my dark horse because he is someone who's won a Grand Slam before. If everything aligns, his section of the draw is actually quite nice. If he finds his confidence and finds old Dominic Thiem, it's not the craziest thing to suggest he can win the Australian Open. Dominic Thiem of 3 years ago would have been a contender to win this Australian Open. So who's to say he's not found himself and he's playing great tennis? So I'm going to go for Domi as my dark horse.
I'm not mad at that whatsoever, mate. So I think that's just someone in the live chat saying Korda and Thiem are the dark horses.
Listen, I think we've picked out some good dark horses, in fact.
Right. So, well, we're now planning to do player roulette. There have been some late entries in, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of tinkering. I don't know if you want to keep everyone occupied while I do some accountancy.
Have you added any?
Yeah, I added them on, but I've got to do all of the formulas. So
Okay.
I know. So apologies. It's not that. It's done in typical accountants, done in Excel. This is how
It's
we
all right.
do it.
You be playing around with that. I'm just going to say a little bit, and then I'm going to be playing the intro again to get a little bit of hype going for player roulette. So the last part of this video is player roulette. This is how it works. Every single person who is in the Patreon will be randomly selected a player from the men's draw. It will be from highest seed down. So I think we've got 26 or 27 patrons. So number 1 to 20 or 1 to 28 in terms of seeds. You will get a player. If that player is to win the Australian Open this year, you will win a prize from me and Ben. So we'll make it a good prize. It's, of course, free to enter as long as you are in the Patreon. So that's pretty clear. Make sure to join. It's not too late if you want to. We're going to be just sorting it out, and we're going to be doing the draw in about 2 minutes' time.
Last year.
Novak Djokovic has left Australia after losing his appeal against his visa cancellation.
He knew the conditions since a lot of months ago.
I was just following the rules. I came in with all the valid papers.
The volley.
It's so good! He's done it! It's the miracle in Melbourne.
Novak Djokovic has been granted a visa allowing him to play in next year's Australian Open.
Fans who taunt Djokovic are on notice. Do so, and you'll be kicked out by security.
Carlos Alcaraz is out of the Australian Open.
I look at my ranking, it's giving me a lot of confidence, but on the other hand, I know that these are just the numbers. Anybody can win a Grand Slam right now.
Who is going to avoid Novak Djokovic? Daniel Medvedev's in the same court as Rafael Nadal.
It doesn't get much worse, I'm sorry.
Can Raducanu beat Coco Gauff in a second round, Ben?
Felix Auger-Aliassime will win the Australian Open. Iga Swiatek will win.
Arina Sabalenka and Taylor Fritz. Yes, you heard it here first.
Novak Djokovic, clear winner for me. So my projected semi-finals for the women's, Zheng against Pegula and Garcia against Samsonova.
I see Novak Djokovic holding his 10th Australian Open trophy this year. I see Maria Sakkari winning her first Grand Slam title at the Australian Open.
The Nicholas Kyrgios steam train is powering his way through to an Australian Open title win, and he's taken out Novak Djokovic on his way.
Oh, safe to say maybe Liam has got in my head slightly with my predictions, but it is player roulette time. Are you ready, Ben?
Yes, I was just thinking, that we made that little overlay to cover things up, but now the thing's just got bigger, hasn't it? So I'm hoping that doesn't mess us up in any way, shape, or form. I've added in the extra ones. What I could do is, if I share it and just put the thing up, it's like a curtain. Have an unveiling of this player roulette.
Hey, yep, it's up.
Just bear with me, and then I will try and share this. Right. Okay. Right. So this is how it will work.
One name at the bottom, but it's me, so it's
that's
fine.
all right. Yeah, you can take the thing off, and then we can have a look. But this is how we're going. I don't know. You could put some music on if you want from the little thing. If you want to make it a little bit more.
We don't need any music. I'll talk over it. So this is player roulette. We are currently spinning the wheel, and as you can see, they are all of our Patreon members. They are going to be randomly selected a player. If your player wins the Australian Open, you will win a prize. As easy as it is. So let's have a little countdown, and then Ben will stop spinning the wheel. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop the wheel, Ben. And there we go. This is who everyone has got. And I can see I've got Grigor Dimitrov. How great is that? Let's start off. Lewis.
I'm just going to go a bit smaller so I can fit Vaughan in on the bottom there. Just
Okay, so let me just go a little bit bigger so I can read it. So we've
Oh,
got
bigger.
Lewis, Bell, Holgarune. We've got Colby, Kelly, Cameron, Norrie. We have Nancy has got Francisco Cerundolo, Goldflake, Diego Schwartzman, Aman Dan Evans, Ricky Mano, Andre Rublev, Tennis for Me, Hubie Hurkacz, Tiffany with Nick Kyrgios, Landon Lau, Stefanos Tsitsipas, Emma Korda, Bax Mati, Chorich, Lynette Marshall has got Novak Djokovic. Daria G has got Felix, Aluna, Francis TFO, Ross, Daniel Medvedev, Michael Walker's got Yannick Sinner, Bill Ridgway has got Taylor Fritz. We've got Gene with Lorenzo Massetti. I think you'll be happy with that. Wild has got Karen Hatchanoff. Forderberg has got a Goot. Nancy's got Booster. Zach's got Casper Ruud. Kathy's got Alex de Minaur. Thomas Rock has Zverev. Gary's got Shapovalov. So Iconic Kuzmanovic. JG with Dimitrov. And Ben's got Rafael Nadal. How have you managed that?
I don't know. That's just, isn't that typical? That I would put Rafa out to Medvedev and then I get Rafa in the draw. So it just tears the gods wanted me to have Rafa because they know that you would want me to have to cheer him on. That's why I know it.
And we've got Vorhan right at the bottom with Matteo Berrettini. So thank you, everyone who's entered. Thank you to all of our patrons. We will be doing this for every single Grand Slam and Masters event.
That's correct. And when we get lots more people in, obviously, we'll be able to extend this on and keep doing it. It's going to be more exciting. The more people that we get, we'll even extend onto the women's as well. We're going to have to try and work out the logistics of all of that. But we're starting with this one with just the men's on the Grand Slam. But we will be doing it for women's eventually as well. Just let us get this one out the way first. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, exactly that. But I think we will leave it there. We've made some big calls. Ben's gone Djokovic. I've gone Kyrgios. There's going to be some drama. I went Djokovic at the start. I changed my mind. So much is happening right now. If Rafa wins the whole thing, I'll be pleased. So let's see what happens. Please join us for all of the matches. We will be doing the women's one right now as well. So Ben's going to pop the link in the live chat for that one. It's another stream in about 5 to 10 minutes time. Thank you, Jamie, for the super chat. And as Jack's saying, yes, the women's one will be coming very soon. So thank you, everyone. Roll on the Australian Open. Let's see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be a great one.
And one last thing to say. Come on, Novak Djokovic. Let's get 22. Hit him all!
Come on, Nick.